You're listening to the Level Best Network.
Good morning and welcome to the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast for Wednesday, exactly, August 6th, 2025. It's my little brother's birthday today, but more about, actually turn the music up. He did this.
Oh.
He wrote it, and I quote unquote produced it, and so yeah, he wrote the theme song to the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. Greg,
Nice.
is his name, and you know what? I'll just get into it right now. So today's his birthday, August 6th. I remember the day he was born. I was 8, about to be 9, so I'm older. I have memories of that day, and we didn't know, and that's, of course, this is the 70s, so there was no gender reveal party, or we didn't do any of that. It was surprise, what's it gonna be? And
right,
and I really was one of those weird things. I was not hoping for a brother or a sister either way. I mean, I have an older brother, so a brother would have been great. A sister would have been different. So I didn't have, I was like, come what may, let's see what happens.
I know. I remember that feeling.
Do you? Yeah, that's right. Because you're the oldest, right?
Yeah. Especially I remember it when brother Matt, the youngest brother, came along, and I remember, you didn't typically find out who, what the sex was or anything. I mean, there was a lot of parents would opt out of that. They wanted to be surprised.
Mm-hmm. I remember mom went into labor in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went to the hospital, and it was a summer day. So we did not go to the hospital with mom and dad. We stayed home all day and played. And our neighbors, the Blaylock,
right?
Kenny and Michael Blaylock, brothers,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were, quote unquote, watching us, even though we were going in and out of our own house. Nobody was over at our house. Well, it was my older brother. I mean, I was 8. My older brother Joe had just turned 11. So we were, and again, it's a different time. It was a different time.
It was.
We basically were watching ourselves, and then the neighbors just kept an eye on us and made sure we didn't blow up the house. But fed ourselves and watched TV. But I do remember there was a really nice warm day. This was in Richmond, outside Richmond, in a suburb called Mechanicsville, Virginia. And it was typical suburbia. We had a half-acre lawn with this beautiful carpet of Kentucky 31 fescue. I've told you about that because my brother and I both worked on that lawn. Shrubbery was nice and neat. We had, I remember, gosh, was it Carolina blue? My dad painted the house Carolina blue. It was.
You had a light blue house?
Wackadoodle. What's that?
You had a light blue house, huh?
Light blue house with a slightly darker blue, but still pale blue, trim around the shutters. We got very fancy. It was very fancy. But yeah, that was the colors that Dad liked, Carolina blue, and we used to live in North Carolina. So I'm surprised we didn't go with orange and black for the Orioles, but we didn't. So I remember the phone call came in. Did it come to us? No. Joe, my older brother, and I were outside playing, just riding around. We were playing with Kenny and Michael, our neighbors. And then I think the call came in to the neighbors. That's how we found out. And when they came outside and it said, your mother's had a baby, 6:03, 3 after 6, and it's a boy.
You just back timed the birth time. That's funny.
6:03, 3 after 6. Yeah.
In the morning.
In the evening. And I forget how much he weighed. But yeah. And then funny. Dad came home that evening, and he had pictures in the instant pictures. And you know,
Like
Greg's,
Polaroids?
yeah,
Yeah, like the
basically. And
and then
his face was a little smushed. So I thought it was like, why is my brother
why
an
does he have a
Asian
smush?
baby?
Why does he have a smush? That I
his,
mean,
his face was all smushed up, you know.
this
So
was
it's
a
like
kid
babies
thinking
are.
that, so you didn't understand.
I no, I didn't. I'm an idiot. You know, what are you gonna, you know, I'm an
I'm
8-year-old.
an idiot.
You're an idiot. So and so I remember the day he was born. That was and then it actually came to the point where we were old enough that we would watch Greg on little trips when mom and dad would go, or dad worked all day. So when mom had to go and do the, you know, grocery shopping or whatever, and she didn't want
Right.
to haul all the boys, we had the baby. So this is like, you know, mom 10 and my brother's 12, you know, when he was a little bit older, not an infant. But I
Mm.
remember learning how to change a diaper. And this was and he had cloth diapers for a while. And I begged mom to get disposable diapers. But I changed cloth diapers. I changed I got good at it. So when we got when we had girls, when the greatest wife ever and I had our children, I'm like, man, I was
Oof.
like the pit crew. I had it down. I knew, you know, I knew what to do. It was a great skill that I learned. And
Literally, when our kids were first born, that was right about the time of the invention of the diaper genie,
yes,
which was the greatest thing ever.
we had one. Yeah, the diaper genie was fantastic.
You spin it and
No smell.
no smell.
No smell. Twisted it up into a little dirty diaper sausage.
It's so gross.
It was when you pulled
but
it
it
out.
worked.
It was a link of dirty diaper sausage. If you don't know about this, the diaper genie was a long plastic trash bag. It was a
Yeah.
tube, right? And
Mhm.
then you had a small little hole, which is after you did up the diaper, and it was all your disposable
Still
diaper.
exists, by the way,
Does it really?
to this day. Yeah,
Beautiful invention.
just looked it up. Yeah, on Amazon.
Beautiful invention.
Yeah.
Then you put the diaper in the top hole, and then you would twist it. And what it did was it would twist the top, or I'm sorry, twist the bottom of it. So the next time you put a diaper in, it put it in little links, like twisted
Like
sausage
made
links.
sausages. Yeah.
Little dirty diapers, sausage
Ew.
links.
Yeah.
And then you just whoop, threw the whole thing away. Diaper
Yeah.
genie was fantastic. I remember that. Yes, we had that for the girls. But Greg's his name, Gregory Jude. And because we're Catholics, so Saint Pope Gregory, Saint Gregory, Saint Jude, patron saint of hopeless cases. But up until like a month before he was born, it was Matthew. It was going to be Matthew Jude. That was it. And I suggested the name Gregory. And we had mom and dad had best friends, and their son was named Greg. And so they thought, oh, isn't that wonderful? You're naming your son after our son and all this wonderful thing. That's not where I came up with the name. I was a fan of the Brady Bunch. It had just gone off the air, I think, 73. So yeah, I loved Greg Brady. And
Well,
so there you go. He's named after, in my mind, he's named after Greg Brady from the
hey man,
John,
Greg
who are you
Brady was
named? Who are
cool
you
back in
named
the
after?
day.
Oh, you're the third, right?
I'm a third.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, if you want to be real, I am a second, but I have a third because my grandfather was named John Stanley Yaglenski.
Mhm.
And I think I'm not sure the order of how this happened, but they named my dad John Franklin Yaglenski. And somewhere along the lines, either before or after, my grandfather changed his name to John Franklin Yaglenski officially. So technically I could be a junior, but I'm a third. So
Okay.
and
I'm a
then
junior.
and then Gary Michael Yaglenski and Matthew Joseph Jaglenski.
Okay.
Brothers. And then, of course, you got my kids, Andrew John, which has my middle name, or,
Sure.
my name is his middle name, because we weren't going to do, first of all, we weren't going to do a 4, John 4. No.
Why? Why was that off the books?
I just didn't like, I thought, you know what? That's enough. 3's good. And then, well, Michael was our first kid. So Michael got named Michael Taylor Jaglenski.
Oh, after your radio name.
So there's a piece of my name in both of my son's name. Yep.
John's radio name.
So it was a great name, though. We actually thought about, we liked Taylor as a first name, but then we went with Michael to honor my grandfather on my mom's side.
Okay. I'm trying to think if anybody would. I didn't really have any radio names. Ron has always been. It's actually my real
that's
name.
because you weren't.
And a lot of people thought that it was a phony, made up radio air name. Yeah,
I did too.
Anyway,
Ron,
so happy birthday, Greg.
Ross.
I'm gonna
happy birthday, Greg.
in some fashion and do a dinner or something like that. He's a teacher. And he's getting ready in a couple of weeks. He's going back. He's gonna get the classroom ready. They have meetings and
we're back here. All right.
Huh?
We're back.
What? Stop it. What?
We're back already. I think like last week or something. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're back.
What?
Yeah, they're back. They're back.
That's horrible.
Is it?
That's
okay.
Yes, it is. I still feel for kids that have to go back and of course in August, really July is your big vacation month, and then August you have all the sports that start up, footballs, you have training and all of that for high school football, and then you have 2-a-days, practice in the morning, practice in the afternoon, and it's hot, and make sure you stay hydrated, blah blah blah, and it's the grind, and then soccer and all of the other sports that start practicing, cheering. All the cheerleaders had to go back and start again conditioning training, and then stunting and learning stunts and so on. I mean, it's very much #summer's over. Thanks, Mike. You can put your comments, by the way. We appreciate that. Happy birthday, brother Greg from Napua. Thank you very much. If you're watching us on Facebook or if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, and we're working on getting live on a couple of other channels as well.
Yeah, we'll have to do it. We can do at least one more under our license here with Restream.io, where we are now instead of StreamYard. By the way, let me just tell you, just an addendum to what we talked about last time. StreamYard came back as I was canceling and said, we'll give you 50% off or 40% off. I asked for it for weeks. Like, I'd like to stay. Can you get me to close to my rate? No, can't do that. Well, my corporate account's getting like 40 or 50% off. How come I'm not? That it doesn't matter. You can't, blah, blah, blah. So as I'm canceling, literally it comes up. We'll give you 50%. And I'm like, cancel. And then they've emailed me a couple of times too, by the way.
TL. It's all about customer service, people.
Jerks.
All about customer service.
Your brother, by the way, Greg,
yes,
was the one who taught my son to play guitar, which he was a great teacher. I just want to say that.
He's a wonderful teacher.
And because of the way he taught my son and then got him involved in rock school, then that made me want to then go and learn how to play an instrument, which I did. Somewhere out there you can find videos of me with my band. Not all there. That's right. Yeah.
That was John called me up and said, hey, you want to play drums? And I'm like, okay. Because there's not a line around the block of people asking me to play
drums.
So when somebody asks you to play,
I know.
Play. I've got 2 more gigs coming up at the end of the month. Not in any of my bands, but I'm filling in for for one other band. I was asked on Friday to fill in, and I couldn't do it. Which I hate saying no. I always want to be the go-to guy. Hey, can you do this? Absolutely. Hey, can you do that? Sure, I will be there.
Mhm.
Whether it's running sound for a band or whether it's filling in on drums or whatever, I hate saying no. I know I should say no sometimes, but I don't. I don't. I don't. And I make sure that I have an avenue for which to do it, and then I'm clear, my schedule's clear, or what have you. And because I don't really have too many conflicts, but occasionally I will have a conflict, which kind of
Yeah.
stinks.
Forever grateful you played drums in that band. That was the times where you were in the band was the best part of
Oh,
your
you're very kind, John.
No,
I had a
very
lot of
honest.
fun.
Ron takes it seriously, man. When I said, here's the song I want to do, Ron like learned it. And he'd get mad at himself if he wasn't doing it right.
It was
or
hard,
whatever.
dude. It was
I
hard. The
loved
one
it.
song, the two songs that you picked, the Neil Morse song, that
drummer
drummer
Froggy.
had I don't know if he had a double kick, but I only have a single kick pedal. It's
Yeah.
I only use one foot. I learned double kick, but I'm not good at it, so I just don't play it. And so I don't know if he had that or not, but there was a stutter. There's a stutter, a triplet that he played on the kick drum. I think it's just the one. That's the big bass drum, by the way, the one that's on the floor with the head facing you. We call it a kick
Usually
drum.
with the logo on it, you know.
Right, exactly. And the pedal, there's a pedal with a mallet on it, and you can bounce your foot, and you can get, 2 and 3 beats out of it. But you're coordinating. It's on the right side of your body. I'm right-handed, so if it's on the right side of your body, if you're doing quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on your right hand on a cymbal or the hi-hat, which is the two, and you have to play your right foot independently of that, or this has to be independent of the right foot. And that song, the Neil Morse song, and what was the other? There was another one. There was a Christian rock band that we did.
Was it that, or was it the Marillion song?
No, not Marillion. No, there was a harder Christian. It was a
probably
hard rock
song.
It was great. Okay. Well, I still learned.
Come up with it. Hold on.
I learned that was also difficult, but it was great because I loved the challenge of learning it and getting it right. Because I like to get it right. I don't like to get in the ballpark or, oh, that's good enough. I like to get the exact piece right. There's a great song from the Black Crowes. It's a remake of I think it's an Otis Redding song. Might be Sam Cooke. Hard to Handle.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. So it's got a great drum intro, and it's boom, bop, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop, bop, da-da-da-da-da. However, in the song, the drummer alternates between playing that pattern with the snare and playing that pattern with the kick. And I have to make sure that I get that right. I want to get that right every time when I'm playing that song. So actually, and I will have an opportunity to do that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Was it Fireflight?
Yes.
Fireflight. Yeah.
Yes.
Which was a great hard rock Christian band who had, I think, some crossover.
That was a great song. That was a hard song to learn. It was. I love doing that. But anyway, so Greg was a guitar teacher. Getting back to that whole point, which is how he became a history teacher. His degree is actually in history, and now he teaches freshmen. They're squirrely. He teaches freshman world history.
Yikes,
Mr. Ross.
Wow.
I love telling the story because the other night, the Greatest Wife Ever's birthday was last Wednesday. Happy birthday. I got to decorate the kitchen with streamers. So when she woke up, it was just, they were everywhere. I got the crepe paper and did the twist. I was counting the twists to get it so everything was symmetrical. John, you would have been very proud of me. It was 5 whole twists to make sure I did. I wanted to make sure I was right. So then we And so that was fun. And then the daughter, the elder, took her out for the day, and then I had to go to work. And then we went out to dinner at this really nice Italian restaurant, and we sat down at this really nice Italian restaurant. And I had sat down at this table for 35 seconds, and had somebody come over and say, "Hey, are you Ron Ross?" And I'm like, "Hi." And so apparently, so it was a table of listeners, and I went over and said hi to them and just greeted them, and it was really, it was really, really nice. It was really nice to be, and one woman said that she listened on when I was on the Pulse on Sirius XM, which was fantastic, and thank you. But she listens to me now on Key 103, which is even better. And then she said, "I listened to you on Z104," and I'm like, "Which one?" Because there were two. There was DC, and then there was Frederick. She goes, "Frederick, you did afternoon." I'm like, "Oh my, that's 30 years ago." That was the 90s. That was the 90s. That was 94, 93, 94 that I was at Z104. And she remembers that. I'm like, wow, that was, I barely remember, barely remember that. But that was a good time. Anyway, but my point in telling the story was that, so I came down, sat back into the table, and then we had this fantastic dinner. And you know what was fantastic about it? It was an Italian restaurant, so we got pastas and all this different, and they had interesting pairings, but the portions weren't unbelievably gargantuan. And I'll need a box, so I'm going to take it, and you're eating on it for 3 days. The Greatest Wife Ever and I actually finished our meals, which was fantastic because guess what I did?
What?
I ordered dessert. If I didn't have that gigantic meal, which was at another restaurant, another Italian restaurant, where they fill the plate. It's a good 2.5 inches high, and it's a huge plate, and it's just so much food, and you're like, bite, bite, bite. Okay, I'm done, and I can't get it. But I can't get a dessert. So at this restaurant, though, the portions were perfect. It was manageable. And then Greatest Wife Ever and I, we like to you get that, I'll get this, and then we'll switch halfway, which is what we did. And she liked mine better, and I liked hers better, which was good. So I like the switch. But you finished the meal. It was great. And so I got to order the tiramisu because I have to.
Nice.
At every Italian restaurant. But it was, the reason I told that story, the recognition, is because I love telling this story too, is that I was at church at my local church, my local Catholic church, at Mass, and I was just there. I don't know. Was I there? I was there by myself. I don't know. I was at Mass. I'm at Mass, right?
Right.
This is a while back. And so a part of the Mass, they say you shake each other's hands. It's called the kiss of peace. Now let's offer each other, peace be with you. Let us offer each other a sign of Christ's peace. Right. And you shake hands and peace be with you, and so on. You know, when you're a kid, it was fun. Like, hey, peace be with you. And then, of course, with the daughters, we made up a cool handshake. Which I had people in the pew going, well, I can't do that. I'm like, you don't have to. So there was a teenage girl and a mom, and they turn around and shake hands, and teenage girl just goes, she stiffens her back a little bit. She recognizes me, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So she shakes her mom. Then they turn around, and then the rest of the Mass goes on. And at the end, the mom has to come over and talk to me. And I'm like, okay. And she's recognizes me from the radio, and she comes over and she goes, "Are you Ron Ross?" "Yes, I am." "Yes."
Okay.
"Yes, I am." And she said, "Is your brother Mr. Ross, who teaches at St.
Oh, so it's Mr. Ross, not that they recognized. Yeah, there goes the head. The balloon has been popped.
Yes, that is. She loves him. The greatest teacher she's ever had. Yep. He's a fantastic teacher.
That's awesome.
I love telling that story, because in the midst of all of the who was the important one in the story? The teacher. Loved it.
Fantastic.
Loved that.
Fantastic.
So and it's also a nice little eco check.
Yeah, every now and then we need that, right? Yeah. Every now and
Sit
then.
down. So I have to tell this story too. Greatest wife ever and I, actually the greatest wife ever particularly, we've been searching for a new doctor. We had this one who was a nurse practitioner, and she was the whole family. She was the girls, she was the wife and me, and then she left the practice and she went to down the what they call down county, down the road. She was in Montgomery County. I live in Frederick County, so she's good, almost an hour away, 45 minutes. She's in Germantown, John.
Okay. Yeah, just
you know where
just
that
right
is.
down the
It's
way.
down the
Yeah,
highway from where we live, on your way to the outer suburbs of Washington D.C. So Gaithersburg, Rockville, Bethesda, Chevy Chase, all of that leading into Washington D.C. This is the upper end of that. And so for years we've been trying to this other doctor. I have one that's nearby, and she's very nice. But when you call to get an appointment, it's in 3 months. If I want any immediate attention, it's see this person, this other doctor,
I know,
or this
I know,
whatever. And I'm like, but
know.
you're my GP.
I know.
And so we had a problem with that. So finally, after we tried several avenues, we got very frustrated. And I said, that's it. I'm calling this doctor, this nurse, and down, and we're just going to drive. That's it. We'll just deal with it. It's just going to be a nice little drive down the major highway. And so I called them, and I'm thinking, well, we'll see her in November, but at least we'll be able to see her. And they said, how about this was last week, beginning of the week. They said, how about Friday, August 1st? What? Okay. Went in Friday, August 1st. It was great to see her. She actually came out to see me out in the waiting room. She's like, come on back. And we sat there and chatted, and she's just fantastic. So then they scheduled, they're like, well, we would like your wife to come back for a physical. And we're like, okay, cool. And again, I'm thinking, all right, well, we'll see you in November. And they're like, how's Tuesday sound? You mean 4 days from now? Yeah. We have an opening at 11. Okay.
So did you play the lottery ticket?
No, but this is just the way and this practice is outside. There's a mega conglomeration now that's going on in my hometown, where the hospital has bought up all of these medical practices, and they're all under one umbrella, corporate medical umbrella. And I'm not a fan. And so this was outside of that, and outside of that big mega corporation conglomerate. And John and I have talked about doctors and doctor's appointments and all of that stuff in the past.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I nothing against the doctors. They do wonderfully and so on and so forth. Nothing against the doctors. Don't get me wrong. But the just when we worked outside that umbrella, we got immediate attention and immediate service, and it was fantastic. All we had to do was drive maybe a half hour out of our way.
Good. Not too bad.
I just have to say, it was and we're just driving back like, that was fantastic. That was a wonderful. Not only that, John, we show up early to fill out the forms.
Yeah.
Right. We were about a half hour early. So when we were done with the forms, she went in early. Didn't have to wait. She wasn't in the examination room for another half hour, 45 minutes.
Something's amiss here.
Immediately. If the appointment was at 10, we got there at 9:30, and greatest wife ever was back in the examination room by 9:35, 9:45.
Wow.
They took her early because we were there early.
I can't comprehend. I don't know how that works.
It's amazing. It was amazing. That's never happened before. And it happened again Tuesday when we went for the Monday or Tuesday when we went for the physical. Same thing. We showed up early because we wanted to account for traffic.
Wow.
And we showed up early, and again, we had to fill out like 1 or 2 more forms. I like to fill out forms. I know I'm weird like that. I'm like, give me that. I know what your social security number is. I like filling out forms, and she's filling out one on her phone because it's 2025.
Yes.
As soon as that was done, boom, it took her right back. It was crazy. It was
I know.
as much as I've complained about doctors in the past, I have to say
Had a
there
good
are some
experience.
great practices doing great work out there.
Yeah.
And they're all about customer service.
Yep.
Because you're a customer. You're a patient, but you're also paying for it. You're a customer. That's just my little ditty.
No, I'm with you, having waited a month for a surgery next week. So
yeah. Yes, by the way, yes, programming notes, so there won't be a podcast next week. John's gonna have some surgery done, and hopefully, well, it's gonna correct one thing, and hopefully
we
it
know
might
that.
correct another thing.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Fingers are crossed.
Sinus issues blocked on one side. Yeah. So we're roto-rootering both sides out, apparently. That's what they say.
I know. For years, I gotta say this is, and I guess I'm just ignorant. I just never really figured it out. But for years, when you had a stuffed nose, and I've always had a stuffed nose. I mean, I could never.
Mhm.
I'm probably about 40 to 55% occluded on both sides, blocked on both sides right now. And it wasn't, and I always thought there was something there that you had to try to blow out. And it wasn't until I realized later that really it's just the membranes swelling and shutting and closing. And I'm like, why didn't I realize that? Because now I do a nasal spray before I go to bed because my nose just decides. Well, you know this, John, because I was down at your house, and I'm putting my CPAP next. He had a really nice guest.
I know.
It was very hotel-y. It was super hotel-y. It was very nice. He said he did it on purpose and achieved, John. Achieved. I felt very guest, and I love hotels.
Yeah.
You and I have had that discussion.
Right. Yeah. We're trying.
I love hotels.
Right.
And so this was very hotel-y, and the bed was made and this and that. And here's the Wi-Fi password, and here's this, and here's your channel guide for your television. I'm like, well, this is awesome. And even in the shower, there were different showers and gels and things and guest soaps and awesome. But as I'm setting up my here's my CPAP, and I'm like, here's my nasal spray. Actually, no, we had to go to a store and get some more because I forgot to bring it. That's right, I remember that. But I do have to do this every night now, just so I can breathe, just so I can sleep. That's one of the things the greatest way I've ever we've been talking about is just like as you progress and you get older, things that you took for granted now, like I didn't know that I didn't sleep properly. I had no idea that I just wasn't sleeping the correct way because of all the obstructive breathing and apnea and all of that stuff. I wasn't even sleeping right. Sometimes Greatest Wife Ever catches me breathing. I've got a weird breathing pattern. I don't know what it is. It might be left over from smoking or whatever, but I'm a mouth breather. If that nose isn't working, then it's
I hear you. Well, I mean, it's
one of those super pleasant to be around.
I didn't even know I was having a problem, really. I mean, I can sort of breathe out of that side, but apparently it's mostly obstructed. So
yeah, exactly.
And then I had some other issues that crept up with my hearing as a result. So that's not good. And anyway, hopefully it'll all be fixed. But next week I'll be down for the count, like a couple days, I think.
Napua just posted that I need to make a reservation at Casa John. John?
Yeah. Chateau de la Yaglensky.
you can run a hotel.
Right. No, thank you. No.
Greatest Wife Ever and I were talking about that. I swear, I would love to run a restaurant with a concept. I'd love to be, come up with the concept, the execution, come up with the menu and so on and the recipes. and then have somebody else do it and lay their money on the line and so on. I'd be a consultant. But Greatest Wife Ever and I would kill with in the service industry, in the hospitality industry, when it comes to stuff like that, with the restaurant concept and so on. And I would love to do it. But I just, at this age, I don't think I don't think I can. I mean, I'm eyeballing retirement now in some fashion, although not
at some point,
not 100%.
Right.
And I've told the Greatest Wife Ever that too. I'm like, I'm never not going to be on the air somewhere.
Yeah. Hey!
Even if it's just something to do, even if I'm not making any money, if it's just something to do. Here's Kiss from 1974.
Yeah, I often said I could see myself once I retired from my day job pulling a weekend shift somewhere.
Yeah, you got to get back on the air, John. You're too much of a talent to not be on the air. But, also consider in front of the camera too, because a lot of his stuff, you got to look at his podcast, Intercut. Ding.
Sorry.
His
I have it here. There we go. That's better.
Intercut, and because it's a Disney park podcast. It's all about parks.
Yeah, we talk stuff.
I mean, everything, but
there's a lot of
the
stuff.
Initial concept. The initial concept is the parks.
Okay.
And and I even said to John that I wanted to plan a family vacation with our grandson, and we're all of us, and just go and do that. And so John's got the hookup. He's not doing it himself, but he knows people who do, and so just putting me in touch. That's the case. The hub for the connections to all the other things. I'm telling you. By the
way, remind me, I have dates. I think you asked me when to go and stuff like that too.
Yes,
you might have. So I did some research. So
right. So yes. Oh, did you really? For me? Thank you, John.
I've got it for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, there's specific times to go, and what passes to buy and where to stay, and so it'll be all mapped out. I'll be ready for it. I'm going to apply for my loan as soon as we. Oh, did you know, John? This is, and I have to say, it saddens me deeply to see businesses shut down, especially when it's not just big corporation businesses, because Big Lots is closed, and now Joann's is closed,
right?
And we went there all the time. Another Kmart, that one hurt a lot, because we went to, especially at this time of year, we would do the back to school shopping for the girls, and I loved it. You got the school supplies, but then how about this little dress and this blah blah blah, and lunchbox and backpacks and all of the things and Kmart was that was it, and it was affordable, and it was a one-stop shop, and if you couldn't get it at the time, you could stick it on layaway, and we did a lot Christmases from Kmart. So when that went under, that one hurt a lot. And then and Toys R Us, that was another painful one to see go under. But also like local businesses, when I see a restaurant that's tried to make a go of it, and then it wasn't going to work. So a lot of stuff has been things I've noticed have been shuttering recently, and it's hard to watch. And I feel really bad, especially for the people who this was my lifelong dream, and I got to do it, but now it's over. I got to move into a new phase of life, and so on. It's which brings me to the topic of changes. There are a lot of changes that are going on. Things I can't really talk about right now. But I will let you know as we progress forward. Some of them, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I know I hate to be cryptic, and I'm sorry that I am. And I really can't stand when somebody's cryptic with me, when they put a post up there and go, wah, 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 and I'm like, whoa, what happened? I hate that. But you've gone through changes. Changes are constant. The question is, how do we react to them? Right. So nothing ever really stays the same. The only thing, huh?
Not well. I mean,
The only thing constant is change.
There you go. That's the saying, right?
I guess. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. There may be some things to talk about. But
okay.
Other than that, I believe I've got a line on a guest in a couple of weeks.
Wait,
who's going to be hanging out with us? Yes, it's a radio host named Meredith Marks, and she has a show that's called Yacht Club. So we're going to talk about the yacht rock phenomenon.
I'm ready for that.
Phenomenon. Right. I was talking about this with somebody else, that the yacht rock phenomenon, all these songs that you hear, like the Escape song, the Pina Colada song.
Can we put that one to bed?
What was the other? Well, John, that's the flagship song, man.
Oh,
that's that is it. That and Christopher Cross, Sailing.
Well, Sailing, I get. There's so many songs I feel we can talk about this with Meredith too.
Well, we got. Well, here's the thing. Here's the great thing about Meredith is she likes the deep tracks. She'll play Ambrosia songs that nobody knows.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I think there are things that are yacht rock adjacent or that have the spirit of yacht rock that came maybe a little bit later than the quote unquote era, that could easily be played on a yacht rock station that would expand the catalog. And I just feel like there are a lot of songs that are missed.
That can be in a quote unquote tightly formatted, and we could go on and on and on.
I know, but I'm just saying it just gets a little bit boring if you listen to the station too much. The list is very small, and that's not even working there doing that. As a listener, I get bored when I tune in and hear Pina Colada, and then the next day I tune in and I hear Pina Colada, or the songs are played in the same order.
In the same hour. Not in the same hour. Better not be in the same hour.
Right. I don't know, but I keep thinking that just when I think about yacht rock and the type of things, like a lot of the Chicago songs and things like that could easily flow into that, and they only play like maybe one or two. But anything with big horns,
from Peter Cetera.
Yeah, like some of the Cetera solo stuff. Yeah, even that kind of stuff. Yeah, it kind of flows into that. I picture being on a yacht and listening to this song. And that I think they need to expand.
Yacht Rock Radio. So yeah, Meredith is going to be our guest in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Working with here. We'll get her live. But I've known Meredith for a long time in the industry, and she's a great friend. So we'll talk to Meredith, and we will pick her brain a little bit about the yacht rock. So we do have a yacht rock themed show that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Meredith has agreed to come on as a guest. I'm still talking with I wordle every day with Lisa Loeb. So I'd like to have Lisa Loeb come back.
So, yeah,
I get it. Look,
I'm still waiting for Mark McGrath.
I got to get Mark's on tour right now, so it's going to be hard to nail him down.
Right.
And if he's not on his own tour, then he usually hooks up with Brett Michaels has a big summer tour, and there's another one that's happening. Emerson Hart, Better Than Ezra, the lead singer from that. Susan just posted, I will agree. When I flip through the channels, it's always the same songs. Well, then it shouldn't be. It should be a different variety. If you're tuning in at the same time, it should be a different variety of songs. So that could very well be somebody falling down on the job. But if you listen at 8 a.m. and then you tune in the next day at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. and you hear the same songs, well, they move around the clock. It is the same songs, but typically people don't tune it in at the same time. I'm getting into the weeds with radio programming, and I'm not going to do that.
I don't. It's okay.
John and I think it's fascinating, and it will put you right to sleep.
Yeah,
but it's really
all good.
Only, I'm just going to say this. It's just simply math. All it is math. You play the most popular songs as often as you can to give more people a chance of hearing their favorite songs. Period. There you go. That's it. That's the philosophy behind radio programming.
But the philosophy is that you don't apparently listen to this channel while you're working every day, because they do repeat songs like the next day from morning to afternoon. So that's all I'm saying. I think there's some adjustments that need to be made somewhere over there.
Well, if you do, all right, and I get your point, John, but if you do the while you work philosophy for the music, then yeah, from 9 to 5, you shouldn't really have a whole, I mean, your power record's going to repeat.
No, you're no repeat work day.
I guess
we're going to get into it.
No, we're not going to get into it. No, we're not going to get into it. No. Again, I think I would think people would think it's boring. If you don't think it's boring, let us know, and then I'll talk all day long about radio programming, like I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
There are. We used to get in these meetings at the. I did want to mention that the big news that came out. John, you sent me the story yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I saw it yesterday.
That's right.
And I will address it more a little bit later on. That the big flagship, huge radio personality on which the entire Sirius XM was built, Howard Stern, looks like he's going to be leaving. Whether he's going to be asked to leave, whether he's not going to renew his contract, whether he's going to retire. I mean, it's colored in so many different ways. I don't know who or what to believe. The question is this going to happen when his contract is up, and are they going to offer him less money? He's not going to take it. And then boom, there you go. Then they negotiate whether they get to keep his catalog and just keep running that ad infinitum, like they do with, when you see the best of Johnny Carson and stuff like that, or the Tonight Show on Roku. So is that going to happen? I don't know. For years, here's my philosophy. I was on the same platform as Howard Stern. I was on Sirius XM. I did the same show, same show time slot. I played a lot of music and he was talk.
Right.
So there's huge difference right there. I'm not comparing us saying we did the same type of show, but I was on at the same time, and there was no matrix, none, on how many listeners anybody had.
Right. Just had no way to measure that.
None. For all we know, Lily at Watercolors could have been the most popular radio host. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what the ratings were. Nobody knew what the numbers were. You just didn't know, because
it was all about the subscribers, not about.
It was all about the subscribers, but they did do polling. They did polling within the listeners to see what channels they listened to and when and how much. But it wasn't anything like radio ratings, because now I'm back in the commercial radio. So you didn't know, but they still paid him $500 million over 5 years in contracts. And I don't fault the man. I don't fault the man for asking for it. I don't fault, and I'm having trouble, making a house payment. I don't fault the man for asking for it, but who gave it to him? That's all I got to say about that. He did. I was a fan of his when growing up. Listened to him when he was on DC 101 in Washington, DC. I saw the movie Private Parts. I read the book. Absolutely. So, but when you work for the company and then you've got one guy and his team that is the top of the mushroom, okay, and then you're essentially doing on the same platform in the same company all the way down here. It's just, you have to go, wow, okay. So, but anyway, that's, isn't that the way that goes in just corporate America, period? I don't know.
Oh, it was time. It was time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, enough's enough.
I mean, with him leaving,
yeah,
Yeah, he's 71. I mean, he does he want to do this anymore? Essentially, he was only working 3 days a week anyway.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah, I believe he was off Thursday and Friday. He did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mhm.
He was off Thursday, Friday, and then would take the entire summer off. And took the
Yeah,
entire
this
summer off.
there you go. That Mike posted.
Yeah, he's only really live 54 days a year too.
Holy crap.
Wow, somebody did the math.
Yeah, like really, Mike? Wow, impressive.
An amazing person to do an interview though. He's definitely he moved. He found that talent. Whoop, sorry. And he doesn't hit the microphone. And he moved into that area. Amazing. I've learned lessons listening to him do interviews. So, but yeah, end of an era. We'll see what happens with that. Just wondering, if they hadn't been paid, billions of dollars, if
whether
could still have their jobs.
They wouldn't have done mass layoffs. Then. Yeah,
I'm just cogitating.
That's as you're
thinking out loud. However,
you are welcome to do.
However, I am, and it's one of those, hey, but things are better. I'm ecstatic as what's going on in my life right now, and I love doing this podcast. So enough complaining. I just threw out my 2 cents because I can, and it's my podcast.
Right, and don't forget to tune in to Ron Ross Afternoons on Key 103.
Edric's Key 103. Find you can listen on Alexa.
Yeah, ask the A word to play it.
Yes. ask the A word. I have mine over here. I almost said it, but I didn't say it.
Yeah.
But when you do ask it, say Key 103 Frederick.
Yep.
And I'll put the radio station on. And afternoon. So 3 p to 7 p East Coast time. Doing and all the games are there. Today we're doing older or younger for Shawn Mendes's birthday, born in 1998. How well do you know your 1990s?
Oh my gosh. My website was founded in 97. Intercut.
Wow.
Older than Shawn Mendes. Yeah.
That's too fun. Older than Shawn Mendes. All right. Yeah. Intercut. Is it older or younger?
Is it older?
Is he older or younger than? But we play the same games and we have a lot of fun, and I do a lot of great fun and features. I think we had one. Today's story, which was great, is they may have found the protein that triggers aging, and aging spreads in the human body kind of like an infection. So if that happens, and they've identified the protein, can you block it to stop the aging process? That's what they're all looking at, or at least slow it down. So we're going to be young forever, people.
Right. And I'm sure that'll have no consequences.
But anyway, that's just one of those, of the little things, some info you can use, kind of things that happens on the show. Same show that I did over at Sirius XM. And we're having a lot of fun doing it. All right. Are we ready, John?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Off button. Yeah,
I did. I took off. Yep.
Because it's time to get the gray matter working, fire off the synapses, engage the frontal lobe, form new neural networks, utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to think. Ding is the dun. Question of the day, the QOD, and we're playing for pride, not prize. Here's today's question of the day. All right. The year is over, half over. What is the number one movie so far? Out of all these big, you've had superheroes, Fantastic Four, and Superman. You've had movies based on video games. Pixar's got a movie that's in there. What is the number one movie of the year 2025 so far? And I'm going to see how good your memory is, and I'm not going to give you a super duper give it away clue. All right, put your answer down in the comment section. And good luck. Yeah, we went and saw Superman in IMAX and 3D, and it was too loud. So I don't know where we're going to go see Fantastic Four. I might wait. No, I'm not going to wait.
No.
That's one of those theater. You know which one I really want to see in the theater is the Brad Pitt, the F1, the racing movie.
No, Naked Gun.
Did you see it?
No, I want to see it. I've heard
Oh.
actually lots of good things from at least 2 or 3 friends said it was very good.
Liam Neeson. It's interesting because it was Leslie Nielsen. Now it's Liam Neeson.
I know.
Interesting. Right? And Pamela Anderson apparently doing a really great job in comedy for Naked Gun, which is kind of like a rebootquel. All right, so a rebootquel. It was a reboot and a sequel, kind of in spirit, whatever. Okay. All right, here we go. The question of the day one more time. The year is half over. What is the number one movie so far for 2025? Let's take a look. What do we got?
Okay. So first was, I thought that was last year.
That was 2 years ago. That was 2023, I thought.
Okay. All right, hold on.
I could be wrong. Boop, boop, boop. Mike, a Minecraft movie. That's correct. There you go. Wow. Can you believe it?
No.
And I saw it because my the grand dude GS1 was over here, my grandson, and we popped it on because he plays Minecraft with his dad, and sure enough, it's funny. It's very funny. And Jason Momoa is in it, which I did not see that coming. And Jack Black, he plays Jack Black. Let's be honest now. He's
Jack Black,
one of those characters. Yeah, not a lot of subtlety.
No.
With Jack Black, but he's awesome. It's very, very funny. Yes, Mike, woot, you get pride, not prize. Carry that around with you all day today and all week and all next week, because there will be no podcast next week. Because John is getting some medical attention that he needs done. So, and he's going to be out of commission. So we're not going to be able to do anything after that. So we're going to have to wait, which is fine. Right. So what we're going to do then is I'm going to post on the Facebook page and the Instagram page, and we will give all the well wishes for Johnny for a speedy recovery and to make sure that everything works out wonderfully for John. Look at Lapua. Oh, sportsmanship. Let's all hug. That's nice. Congrats, Mike. Very nice, Napua. That was great. Yeah, Minecraft movie. Yeah, not Superman, not Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning.
What was it? What was the Disney movie? The
Pixar? There was a Pixar movie that came out.
Oh yeah, but that flopped.
What was that? Oh, I don't remember now.
No, nobody does.
It's usually a pretty good movie. Pixar doesn't.
Didn't Stitch 2 movie come out?
Lilo and Stitch, right? The Lilo and Stitch,
pretty popular.
And How to Train Your Dragon, the live action or CG, which did quite well, but no, all of them were eclipsed by a Minecraft movie.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. I was amazed by that too, but. Yeah, we got to go to the movies, but when we do, we can't get any popcorn. Greatest Wife Ever and I have started a new diet, and we're going clean. We're trying to eliminate all sugar.
Good luck.
Added sugar. Sugar's the bad guy, which I didn't realize. Sugar is the bad guy, and it can't be anything that comes out of a box. So a whole food. So fresh vegetables, fresh. And a lot of protein, and that's we're doing the cleanse. We're trying it. The food's fantastic. There's no you're not feeling bad or poorly. It's not like you're not satiated.
You're making it all from scratch.
Greatest Wife Ever is.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
She is. Okay. She's got recipes, and she executes. I told you she upped her game ever since she retired as a florist. During the pandemic, during lockdown, she just mastered the art of the French omelet. I've never made a French omelet before in my life. It was perfect little, a 1 egg omelet, and it was seasoned to perfection. And she watched the tutorial, she practiced, she got it. It Okay. So that's what she's doing now. Is a lot of the she did for our friend's birthday. She made 2 cakes from scratch. What kind of cake do you like? And he's like, oh, I like the applesauce spice cake, and I also like what's called a hot milk cake with fudge icing, or a chocolate fudge icing. So she made them both from scratch. Just figured it out.
Yeah, if you're making from scratch, I've got a good recipe for tomato pie.
What's a tomato pie, John? What's a tomato pie?
Oh
I've
my
never had tomato
gosh.
pie. What's a tomato
You
pie?
don't know what a tomato pie is? Tomato pie is basically it's an Italian delight, which is sort of a baked thick, almost pizza crust like,
Okay.
but where you put the sauce thick on top, and typically it's served cold.
And served cold, tomato pie.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you ever made it before?
It's simple. No, I found the recipe, so I've had it plenty of times. By the way, you ferment the dough and for 24 hours and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
But I've had it many times having grown up. There was a place outside of Philadelphia. What was it called? Corporalese, I think. Corporalese Bakery had the best tomato pie. And every time I'm up there, like I request that, my mom or my brother or whatever, get the tomato pie or bring one down for us or something, because it's so good.
Yeah. It sounds awesome.
But yeah, essentially it's sort of an upside down pizza, but instead of putting cheese on top, you just kind of typically will sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan, just a little bit, just a little dusting.
Just a little. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You eat it cold. I'll have to send this to you. Maybe
yeah,
I will.
You do have to send it to me. I mean, is it a specific kind of tomatoes, like Roma tomatoes, or is it?
They tell you the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and maybe I can find it before we close out here in the next minute or two. I'm looking for it.
Well, we got to run. I've got to get it going. Things to do, people to see, places to go, brothers' birthdays to celebrate.
Yes.
So
okay. I found
I cannot thank you enough for for listening to us and hanging out and just being our friend and hitting that subscribe button or mashing that follow button. We appreciate that, whether it's on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. It's coming soon, either to TikTok or Instagram. I think one or the other. What's that?
That was a horrible URL. I don't know what happened there. I tried to paste it in our thread, and it ended up being like this massive URL. Facebook did something to it.
200 letters.
Yeah, it's like 1 million letters in here. Wait, hold on. I'm going to get it. I'm almost there, Rod. I swear.
I didn't want the code for the actual hypertext protocol. I didn't want that.
I think that's it. I think the one that I put in the show chat.
I'll be looking
there.
I'll be looking for it. So, but anyway, thank you so much for listening and being our friend. In 2 weeks, it will be our guest is going to be Meredith Marks from Yacht Club. Look her up online. She's got the show Yacht Club, runs on several radio stations across the nation. And like I said, she gets deep. She grabs those deep cuts of yacht, the yacht-ish kind of radio show, and great interviews. And so look her up, Meredith Marks, MARX, Meredith, and it's the Yacht Club. The link worked though. Napua just said, yeah, even though it was 700 letters long.
All right, I did it twice, so it's fine. It's there. You'll see it.
By the way, it's Ron Brown Thumb Ross, because my whole front lawn has died, and if you've talked to him, whole thing's gone. So brown, so dead, so hard. I mean, I want to put little tombstones on all the little blades of green. It's just all brown and gone. Johnny Unitas is gonna
obviously. I know. Instead of Johnny Unitas,
I got it. I thought that was great. Well, I hope you get an address, and of course, and I'll post all about John's medical procedure next week, and we'll get that done. We will flood him with well wishes and make sure everything's cool. Thank you so much for listening. We got to run. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. Johnny Tinnitus, Mr. Everything.
Thank you.
Johnny Blensky, Ron Ross. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.